Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here with me for this video. So in today's video, we're going to do the weekly collective reading for the week of December 14th through the 20th on 2025. So this is for the entire collective and it covers the whole week. So let's go ahead and get started and see what's going on for the whole collective for this upcoming week. And as always, I want to thank all my subscribers. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that button so that you get future videos I put out. I will be doing a coming up real soon because I want to do it before the winter solstice, the winter energy reading, just to kind of see what to expect over the winter months. So that will be coming out here pretty soon. And also hit that like button so that this video will go out to other people that need to see the information that's in it. It also helps the channel to grow. So I appreciate it if you hit that like button. And also take what resonates in the reading and leave behind it what it doesn't, because it might resonate with you and it might not, just depends. Because a lot of people in a lot of different situations will be watching this. So sometimes it resonates, sometimes it doesn't. So, or the whole thing might resonate. All right, so what is the energy for the collective for the week of December 14th through 20th, 2025? All right, let's see what's going on. What's coming our way for this week? Okay, we got the King of Wands, we got the King of Pentacles, or sorry, Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. That card's been coming out a lot lately. The Ten of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So as a collective, and I'm kind of looking at it from a global level, but it could, trickle down into like, it could mean you could resonate with this on a personal level as well. But I'm seeing coming into the week of December 14th, we've been working a lot as a collective. You see how he's hard at work on those little pentacles, and he's got a whole bunch on the wall that he finished. And he's got one on the floor, and he's working on one on his, on his bench. So we've been working a lot, and we've been working with our abundance, with tangible things, abundance. And it could be like, it doesn't have to be like financial abundance. It could be like working on our health, working on relationships, but it's something tangible that we've been working on. But what I'm hearing is it's like we've been working on our abundance in a tangible way, but we're also and I know this being a pentacle, it's tangible, but I'm also hearing working on our spiritual too. So it's kind of like we've been working on both. But the spiritual work is also helping to bring abundance in a meaning that it's lifting our vibration and our frequency, and it's allowing us to manifest things. Um, it's allowing us to manifest things faster and easier as we lift our vibration. So we've been kind of doing both, working on tangible things with our abundance, but also working on the spiritual things, on our spiritual selves as well. And some of this might be subconscious, like you're not, because as we're getting downloads from the sun and from, energy codes and stuff coming in, it's like we're all kind of ascending, we're all rising up, but some people might be more, so some of it might be subconsciously you're lifting in vibration and you're not totally consciously aware of it. But some of it is you are aware of it. And it's like, so as a collective, we're putting ourselves in a more abundant space. We're working on it, but we're doing it consciously and subconsciously. And it's also, we're working with our spiritual, um, we're doing spiritual work as well as tangible work. That makes sense. Working on our abundance at the same time. That's what I'm getting with that card. So that's in the past position. So we've already, as humanity, we've already been working on this. So we've been already hard at work, and we're not quite finished yet. As you can see, he still has that one pentacle on the floor. So he's not quite finished with his work, but he's almost there. And that's an 8 card. So we're coming to the end of it. But we're not quite there yet as a humanity. So I feel like we're in this is our current energy for the collective, and we're more in this King of Wands energy right now. So it's kind of like we've grown a lot is what I'm hearing over the last couple weeks. And what I'm seeing is like I'm seeing a seed in the ground and it's growing up through the ground, and it's like, like like a little wee baby plant, and then it's growing. So it's kind of like we've grown a lot over the last couple years, and we're growing into this kind of King of Wands energy. So we're taking action and we're feeling passionate about things. I feel like, okay, I'm hearing more and more people are passionate about, like, they're connecting into their passion now. So, in the past, we were kind of programmed that, you go out, you get a good job, you make money to pay your bills. And when you think about it, that's so boring, right? Like life is so much more than just working to pay bills. But that's kind of the programming we've had for decades, right? For or probably hundreds of years. So it's like now people have squished their passion. I mean, say you were really good at art and you really wanted to be an artist of some kind, whatever medium that you work with, you really wanted to be an artist, but your parents were like, "Oh, that's not a real job." I'm just using this as an example, but that's not a real job. You need to get a real job. And so you went into finance or something that you're not passionate about, but it provides a paycheck, right? But you're kind of like, inside you're not happy because you're not doing what you want passionately, what you really passion is. Unless you take up, maybe you would take up art as a hobby on that situation. But my point is, people are tapping into their passion. They're not ignoring their passions anymore. It's kind of like, you're going to be an artist if you want to be an artist, and you might be making a career shift too. It might go from, maybe you are in finance or something and you're just done with it. It's not something you really enjoyed or whatever, and you always wanted to be an artist or go in that genre, go in that direction. So maybe you do, there's going to be people like shifting careers, is what I mean, like going from one thing to what they're really passionate about, or pursuing what they're passionate about. And young people, doing what, like standing up for their passions and pursuing what they want despite pressure from family and friends. So I feel like people are going to be tapping into their passions more and not ignoring them anymore, and that's going to bring people joy. But I feel like that's part of this King of Wands energy. But it's also like a desire for humanity to move things forward, to take action, to for the old things to go away and to build new things. So it's kind of like we're in that King of Wands energy. um and we've come through this. I mean, the last couple years for humanity, like especially the last 5 or 6 years, have been really intense, but there's been a lot of lessons learned, and it's like the wisdom. I'm looking at his crown and I'm hearing the word wisdom. Like, we've gained a lot of wisdom as humanity has, as a collective. We've grown spiritually, we've grown intellectually. So there's been a lot of growth. And that's, again, they're showing me that little plant again growing from the seed. So there's been a lot of growth. And it kind of goes back to this card. I'm feeling like there's this, definitely like there's been a lot of growth with our, a tangible wise, with our abundance, but also spiritually. And it kind of connects in with that. So this is our current energy, but also as a collective, we have this, this nice little offer coming in from the universe. And it could be like, if this is resonating with you personally, it could be an offer coming in, like a small, tangible offer. And it could be financial. It could be like a small financial windfall coming in, or an offer. But if you see, it's like it's taken a long time to get here. And for humanity, it's taken a long time. But it's like a small offer. I feel like the universe, the divine, is giving us small little offers. It's like as we reach a certain point in our development, in our spiritual development, and it's like then these offers come in when we reach a certain vibration. So there's an offer coming in, and this is current energy for the situation. So it's coming in now, but it's taken a long time to get here. And like I said, this might be resonating with you on a personal level as well. An offer coming in that's taken a long time to get to you. And it doesn't have to necessarily be financial. I'm feeling like that's a good probability, but it could also be, it's just something tangible, but it's coming. It's coming. And that's current energy. And I feel like humanity, the atmosphere for us is we've been like, we're just over and done with it because this is a 10. We're coming to the end of this cycle. So even though we still have more, like spiritual growth and abundance growth to go through, right? Because this is an 8 card. So we're not quite at the end of that. And that's in the past. So we've been working on it for quite some time. But this 10 card, what I'm hearing is it's the end of struggling. Because if you see him, he's got his 1 foot behind him and he's pushing all these wands and he's kind of struggling, right? He looks like he's struggling, and it's a 10. So we're getting out of this cycle of, I'm hearing, struggling, barely surviving, being anxious, like it's like being overwhelmed and exhausted. It's like humanity's overwhelmed and exhausted because we've had too many burdens on our shoulders just to survive, if that makes sense. So it's like we're ending that cycle of just surviving, of struggling to survive, of scarcity and lack and all of that. Like that's all going away. We're coming to the end of that cycle. And it's like what's coming our way is going to be better. So this is the current energy that I have for the collective right here. So this is all current energy for the collective. You can see it. So that's all happening right now. Okay, so if we go into the near future, it's like I feel like there has been coming up in the near future. So this hasn't happened yet, but it's on its way. I feel like we're going to find out about things that have been going on towards humanity that have not been good. Like, like someone um okay, hold on. I got a lot of stuff coming in. Bear with me. So going back to this card when I was talking about, the end of the cycle of suffering and struggling. Remember, I just said that. So going in alignment with that, what I just said, keep that in mind because I feel like information is going to come out about the people that were doing this to humanity. Like this was done on purpose to humanity, is what I'm hearing. So it's like we were purposely put into situations where we had to struggle and there was lack and scarcity. And, we were purposely put in those situations by the systems that were around us. And we're going to find out about that as humanity. We're going to find out about who put us in those situations, why, and how it happened. Like we're going to find out that, behind the scenes that, we were purposely being, I guess you can say, enslaved and taken advantage of, purposely being taken advantage of and used, as I'm hearing the word used. And, we were purposely systems were purposely put in place to make us struggle and all of that. So we're going to find out information about that. Information is going to come out to the collective that's going to enlighten us about, why, who, what, all those questions. We're going to start to find out, what was going on. Because if you see in this card, what's really I'm being drawn to is he's holding these swords and there's some down here and these people are walking away. So these are the ones that have been doing it to us is what I'm feeling. And then that's us humanity, humanity like suffering and walking away. So it was done on purpose, and we're going to find out all the particulars of that. Like it's going to start leaking out. I feel, okay, it's not going to happen all at one time. I'm seeing like a faucet and dripping water, like drip, drip, drip. So it's going to be like a little bit of information comes out, then a little bit more comes out, then a little bit. So it's like it's going to be kind of a drip type of way of coming out, but we're eventually we're going to hear about it. We're going to find this stuff out in the near future, but it's going to be important for us to know this. Even though it might be hard for us to hear it, it's going to be important for us to know it. Um so it's like humanity needs to know that. Okay, needed a drink. All right. so let's move on to the advice card. So one of the things that's interesting is we've got this Nine of Pentacles here. So remember we like in the past position we had the 8, we're working hard on it. This is the next step up. It's the 9. So what I'm hearing, the advice card from universe here, this is one of them, is that moving forward, like this is what we're getting into. So we're shifting from the 8 to the 9, but it's like we're going into a more sovereign, independent energy. And part of that is because how we're going to accomplish that is because this is ending. You know, the struggling, the just barely surviving, all of that, the anxiety, stress, and everything associated with that is ending. That cycle's ending for humanity. And so we're going to be in a much more stable place, abundant wise. We're not going to be as stressed and overwhelmed and anxious. Like that burden, I'm hearing the burden's going to be taken off humanity that was placed on there on purpose. And we've been working at it, we've been working and we're at that 8. Now we move to the 9. So we're finally getting to a point of abundance where we're going to feel, um, we're really going to feel the effects of it, and we're going to understand how, and it's like that burden's going to be taken off our shoulders. But I also feel, so a lot more abundance is going to come into humanity, but I also feel like we're going to understand our sovereign and independent that we're sovereign independent beings. We're going to understand that more because of this information coming out. Because the bottom line is why they were doing this to humanity, the people that were, is because we're sovereign independent beings. And they didn't want us to know this. We're so much more than just a physical body. We have our spiritual body, but we're very powerful. We're very powerful, and we're co-creators of, so we can create our reality. We have all these abilities, like, you could even, to with energy, but we don't know about it because we've been purposely not taught these things to keep us small. So they wanted to keep us small so they could continue to take advantage of that of us, but that's coming to an end. Like that, those cycles of taking advantage of humanity and the suffering of humanity is coming to an end. Those burdens are being lifted off of us. And the people that, that did that on purpose, we're going to find out about them. We're going to get information. But I feel like there's also going to be justice served. We're also going to have justice over it. But that's why they did that, because they know, and it's the dark side. It was the dark side that was doing this, but they know who we really are. And this is who we really are. We're sovereign, independent beings, and we're very powerful. And they know that. So that's why they purposely set things up to keep us small so that we wouldn't find that out. Because once we find out who we really are and what our abilities and what we can really do, then they can't control us anymore and they would lose power. So it was in their best interest to keep us small. So let's do the other card I have is the Hierophant. And I haven't, I'm feeling like it could be a lot of things. So let me do 2 clarifiers. I feel like I need a little more information on that card. So why is the Hierophant one of the advice cards? Okay. Got one that just fell out of my hand there. And the 2, 1, thank you. Oh yeah, remember oh jeez. Remember I literally just said justice? No kidding. That just flew out of the deck. Um, so it looks like humanity is going to get its justice. And that's just came as a, this was a clarifier for this card, one of the clarifiers. But this is the advice. It's like there's going to be justice for there's going to be justice to humanity for this, for how we were treated. And as that information trickles out, drip, drip, drip with that information about that, as that information comes out and we find out who and what and all that, those systems, we're going to get justice for how those systems were rigged against us. Because they were. I mean, they were stacked against us on purpose. So we're going to get justice. There's going to be justice served. And that's going to be the increase of the abundance of humanity, those burdens lifted off. So that's going to be part of the justice. But I feel like there's going to also be like legal justice for the people that have done these things, courts and juries, and that's what I mean by legal justice. There's going to be that type of justice too. And the other card I got for the clarifier is this one, the Four of Cups. So I definitely feel like humanity, we don't really, okay, I'm hearing that we don't really see all this right now. Because remember, this is in the near future, so it hasn't happened yet. That drip, drip, drip of information coming out, but it's going to. But the universe is giving us this cup. It's giving us this, this offer, this cup that's coming in. It's giving, we might not see it, because we're being bombarded with, stuff, other things, so it's distracting us. But it's giving us this cup, and it's going to help bring justice for humanity. It's going to help get us out of this cycle and end that cycle. And it's going to help us reach this point of the Nine of Pentacles, being sovereign and independent. It's going to redo, the systems that have been in place. Um, and it's like this cup's coming, and it's also going to be, helping us with this information coming out. But I feel like the universe is giving us this cup because it's just time. Like, okay, I'm hearing it's time for humanity to be free. Like, we've suffered enough. We've been through enough burdens and trials and tribulations. Okay, I'm hearing that's not how humanity's supposed to be. We're supposed to be full of joy, happiness, peace, love. We're not supposed to be struggling, um, barely surviving. We're not supposed to be like that. That's not how life is supposed to be on the earth. And it's time for humanity to get justice. It's time for us to basically have those burdens taken off of us, and for us to be free from those burdens, to be free from those forced burdens upon us. Like, it's time for humanity to be free. So that's what I have, kind of a deep reading for the week of the 14th through the 20th. But I feel like, I just did the 2026 readings not too long ago. So if you want to go back and look at them, I did the collective reading the beginning of the month 2 weeks ago. And then this past week was the element readings for the 2026. But I keep feeling like 2026 is going to be a very pivotal year for us. Like, there's a lot that's going to happen next year. And I feel like these burdens being lifted off of us, like a lot of that's going to happen next year. Um, and it's going to be like decisions made like on a big level, but it's going to trickle down. So like I keep feeling like, taxes going away, fees going away, um, technology coming out that's going to save that's going to save people money. So it's kind of like the little things are going to change. It's going to, like, these changes are going to come in. Like, just think if they get rid of, different taxes, that's going to put a lot more money in people's pockets. That's what I mean. It's like there's going to be decisions made that are going to trickle down to people individually, that's going to affect them and help with this growing this abundance. Because if you don't have to pay taxes anymore, you've got a lot more money in your pocket. Um, if you don't have to pay fees and, all of that stuff like you used to, that's a lot more, income that you have coming in. If there's technologies that come out that make things cheaper for people to get services, that make it more less expensive than what it has been, then that's going to help people too. So that's what I mean. I feel like 2026 there's going to be a lot of changes, and there's going to be a lot of things happening throughout the year that's going to help start to alleviate these burdens. It might take another year or two past that to really get rid of the burdens totally, but I feel like 26 is going to be a big year of going in that direction and things lightening up on humanity. But that's what I have for this week. So pretty deep reading, but we got a happy ending. We got towards the end of the reading, like good things coming in. So that's what we have to remember is good things coming in. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.